So this is a 7-8 week old calf called Nigel. On Sunday night he was absolutely fine. Monday morning we came in and my partner found him very unwell. His eyes were sunken in his head and he was in some quite obvious pain. Obviously the eyes being sunken is a sign of dehydration. So at this point it was definitely ring the vet. The vet came out within the hour, but wasn't like we weren't 100% sure what was actually wrong with him. Even within that hour, in between calling the vet and the vet arriving, he was still going downhill fairly quickly and was laying down in the corner, kicking his legs out, which is a sign that they've got pain usually in their guts. He had a quite low temperature and was cold to touch. And when I took his rectal temperature, it was low. So we put a rug on, which has come off today. The vet wasn't sure, so we thought, right, we'll treat him for a variety of things. So we gave him Alamycin, and he had Metacam in the vein from the vet for the pain. He also had an injection of like Buscopan that a human would take for stomach spasms. Because at that point we didn't know, we thought it might have been either coccidiosis or colic, although he wasn't showing all the usual type symptoms. So later on in the day after the vet had gone, we gave him a cocci drench, which I had in stock. The next day he was passing almost black, very smelly feces with mucus in it, which is a sign of coccidiosis. So we carried on with, he had some extra Metacam. We took his feed away, and he just had water with electrolytes in it for 2 days, just to give his stomach time to settle. And if it was coccidiosis, obviously that can ulcerate in the intestines and bowel. So taking the hard feed away meant that his guts weren't having to work hard, which was causing him pain. Today is Friday, and his rug came off this morning. His poo is back to being completely normal again, and he's back to his usual self. He has lost a little bit of weight, but nothing serious. And he's he's recovered really, really well, which just shows that sometimes calling the vet quickly is important. A lot of the things in the calves house we can sort out ourselves, but I say in Nigel's case, we didn't really know what was going on, and on Monday he was seriously ill, to the point where we didn't know if he was going to make it or not. But now, as you can see, he's absolutely fine, back to his usual self again. So I'm glad that we did call the vet out as quick as we did, because it's meant that he's fine. Hopefully he won't have any lasting damage from the coccidiosis. And with that, we also treated the calves that were 2 pens either side of him with a cocci drench as well, because obviously they can lick each other and what have you, and thankfully nobody else has caught it. We think one there might have had the very starts of it, but the cocci drench killed that. Obviously usual things like his buckets never went anywhere, they stayed where they are. Dipping our boots with disinfectant in and out of the calves house, keeping him quarantined on his own. His mate has gone next into the weaned pen, which you can hear them shouting at the minute. A, to give him time to recover, and B, so we don't spread it through the calves house. Coccidiosis can be a huge killer in calves. Luckily Nigel is a big, strong, healthy calf, and he's recovered remarkably well. We did put him back on just slightly watered down milk for a couple of days, which I think helped give him a bit of a boost, because he was weaned anyway. And he had his last little bit of milk this morning. It's just a bit of comfort, you know, a bit of soothing for him. He was obviously in pain and feeling quite awful. So with the rug and a little bit of milk and then all the medication. So he had a Buscopan type injection, a painkiller injection, an antibiotic, the Metacam pain anti-inflammatory, electrolytes in his water, and also the Coxy drench. And now, thankfully, 5 days later, he's back to his usual self again, and hopefully tomorrow morning he'll be going in with the other weaned calves.